Do you ever get easily overwhelmed when hosting family functions? I used to, and over the past few years, I've had to simplify my attitude and approach to these situations to maintain my inner peace. If you're a perfectionist like I was, who can get overwhelmed by the crowd, I hope this story will be a gentle reminder about ways you can find to keep it simple during your next family event, to slow down and feel calmer. Last weekend, my husband Mark celebrated his 50th birthday. The people person he is, he wanted a big celebration with family and friends where he could play music, serve lots of food, and talk to everyone. I wish I could say I was just as excited as he was, but the truth is, the thought of the big crowd and everything that had to be done started to feel overwhelming again. The old Chevy would have created a blueprint months earlier for everything I thought I had to do leading up to the celebration just to people please. But I found myself doing things a lot differently this time to reduce stress. Instead of trying to take control of the planning, I set out intentionally to let go of the control of how events would unfold, which has been a huge mind shift for me and has taken years of practice. It was so freeing when I told myself that this was Mark's party and he wanted to plan it, even if I thought I could do things better in certain areas. And I saw myself more as a support to him than the event planner, offering suggestions versus feeling I had to do everything. I've also shifted to things such as paper plates and cups instead of the huge wash-up of dishes we'd need to do after every gathering. For me, all the washing and cleaning up after is such a huge time drain, especially when it's for bigger crowds. I also cut back on thinking I needed to cook and bake everything, although I did make these easy berry pastries for the family breakfast the next morning after the party, and I've provided the recipe link for you in the description. When I just showed up as myself at the party and tried to keep things as simple as possible, I was a lot happier. I could experience the moment instead of worrying about what to do next or what someone might think. And when the overstimulation of the crowd got a bit much sometimes, I happily gave myself permission to slip out every now and then to rejuvenate with some nature and quiet. And Mark's party was all the more memorable for it. So it's a few hours before the party right now and before the family arrives, and I just thought I'd try to find a quiet space to just talk to you a little bit before they arrive. And as I reflect, I just realized that in the past, I used to think I had to pre-plan everything and get everything just right before family events, just to impress everyone. Looking back, I realize now that really why I was doing all this is because I really wanted family members to say, wow, Chevy's got it all together, even if I didn't. I know that for some folks, setting a beautiful table and just that activity itself, and also maybe even being in the kitchen all day and preparing a good meal is really fun activity for them. But personally, for me, I found that I enjoyed the results of my labor, but I would often get really exhausted and drained and even irritable sometimes trying to do all this work or pack all this work, cram it in. And it was really just to make an impression. I wanted family approval. And when the family did actually arrive, I even found that I couldn't really enjoy the fruits of all my labor because I'd still be too fixated on having everything go just right. As a result, I wasn't truly present in the moment, and the family approval I was so desperately trying to seek sometimes was even met with scorn, which could be hurtful. In midlife, holding on to my inner peace has become absolutely essential for me. I think there comes a time in our lives when we have to question,
what are we trying to prove to others? And I think the ultimate change in my entire approach to family functions is dropping the perfectionism act and not really caring what other people think. Just showing up, being me, being authentic. And it's really, really freeing.
So I hope if you're someone who gets overwhelmed by family events, something in this message speaks to you, and you're not alone. If you have any questions or comments, I invite you to share them with this community. I respond to all comments. Take good care, stay calm, and until next time.